Donna Brazile, a former interim chair of the Democratic National Committee, said, "The United States is the only leading Western country to come out of COVID with an economy that is not going to recession, where jobs are being created and consumer confidence is slightly rising. But unfortunately, because of the supply chain issues that are still apparent and many other factors, including greedflation, many voters are very tired of the rising costs of everyday staples, whether that's buying lumber or buying food on the table. It's unpredictable. You go to the grocery store now, you don't know if you need $100 or $10. Lodged deep in the national psyche, inflation could prove costly for Biden." Pamela Pugh, president of the Michigan State Board of Education and a candidate for the U.S. Congress, has detected signs of African American voters shifting to Trump. "I am a Democrat, but I do definitely have concern with what I do here on the ground, and there is disconnect," the 53-year-old said during an interview in Saginaw. "We cannot force people to feel what they don't feel and to say what they don't feel. They're not carrying the daily Democratic talking points. They're speaking what they're actually feeling. Do I think that Trump would do any better for us? No. But are people looking for leadership that is going to not fight timidly, that is not going to fight scared but is going to listen to them and fight for them? That is what people are looking for." Biden's handling of immigration has also been criticized by both Republicans and Democrats as crossings at the U.S.-Mexico border hit record highs. Luntz added, "Joe Biden has failed badly at that, and it's so obvious and you can't get away from it. We see people coming across the border. We hear about the crimes that are committed. It's been a shit show, and arguably Trump had success with immigration, Joe Biden has not. Biden has led the response of Western governments to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, persuading allies to punish Russia and support Kyiv. He has provided military aid to Israel in its conflict with Hamas in Gaza while pushing for more humanitarian assistance, but has faced sharp criticism from some Democrats for not pushing harder for a ceasefire or matching his tougher rhetoric on Israel with action. Intensifying student protests over the war in Gaza also could hurt his re-election bid, as Republicans and right-wing media seek to portray the mostly peaceful demonstrations as violent and anti-Semitic, hoping to drive division among Democrats and promotes a sense of national chaos. Meanwhile, third-party candidates Robert Kennedy Jr., Cornel West and Jill Stein could shave off further crucial votes. Trump, more radical and extreme than in 2016 or 2020, has cast his third consecutive bid for the White House in part as retribution against perceived political enemies. He described supporters jailed for the January 6, 2021, attack on the U.S. Capitol as hostages, and campaigns using increasingly dystopian rhetoric, refusing to rule out possible violence around the 2024 election. He faces 88 charges in 4 criminal cases over efforts to subvert the 2020 election, as well as unlawfully keeping classified national security documents and falsifying business records. His first trial began in New York last month, forcing him to shuttle between courtroom appearances and campaign rallies. Simon Rosenberg, a Democratic strategist, said, "He is far more extreme and dangerous than he was in 2020. His performance on the stump is significantly degraded and disturbing, and he's going to be on trial for many months, which is going to further erode his strongman image and his standing with the public. He doesn't have any way to make positive news." Donald Trump's central way that he's making positive news is by staying out of jail. "I don't think that's going to be very effective for the 6 months." In New York, Trump has railed against the judge, violated a gag order and called the criminal charges a Democratic conspiracy designed to keep him from winning, with some of his legal challenges reaching the Supreme Court. The Justice Department denies any political interference. If elected to another 4-year term, Trump has vowed revenge on his political enemies and said he would not be a dictator except on day one, later calling that a joke. He also wants the power to replace federal civil service workers with loyalists. He earned opprobrium from Western leaders for saying the U.S. would not defend NATO members that failed to spend enough on defense and that he would encourage Russia to attack them. He also pressed congressional Republicans to stall military aid for Ukraine before reversing course. Trump has made immigration his top domestic campaign issue, declaring he would carry out mass deportations, create holding camps, utilize the National Guard and possibly federal troops, end birthright citizenship and expand a travel ban on people from certain countries. He has referred to migrants as animals, and has not ruled out building detention camps on U.S. soil.